And everyone has now just witnessed John Ann's superpower, which is being everybody's, like, the best hype woman for
I know.
big all hype of the girl. People in her
She's the
orbit.
hype
Big
girl.
hype girl this
Yes.
one.
Yeah, I got
Definitely.
my tail whooped this week. Welcome back to Be Life Changers, where we celebrate purpose, passion, and the people right here in our community who are stepping up and making a difference every single day. And today, this one feels extra special to me because I'm surrounded by a table of powerful women who are very special to me and good friends of mine. Because it's Women's History Month, and instead of just talking about women who change history, we're sitting down with women who are changing our community right now. These right here, we're leaders, dreamers, and doers. Women who didn't wait for the seat at the table. They built their own table and invited others to sit down. I'm joined by three incredible powerhouses. John Ann from Sunflower Bank, Katie from DLM Commercial, and Chelsea from Addie. And, of course, we can't forget Bare Necessities Coffee Shop, because we all need some coffee.
It's essential.
It's essential. Yes, it is. Very much so. So we're talking about their stories, their struggles, their wins, and how we can continue lifting other women up through our upcoming Give to Gain event. Ladies, I'm so honored to have you. Thank you for coming today and being with us and joining me in this very beautiful spot, JT Visuals. What do you think?
Thanks for having us. This is amazing.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I know. It's so awesome.
beautiful.
I love coming in here. They take good care of me every time. As you guys know, because you're friends of mine, we stay super busy because we're always doing something like planning some crazy women event on top of everything else we have to do, right? But that's why I love JT Visuals. I'm able to come in, record the podcast. We're going to be able to walk out, and you're going to see we're going to have all kinds of clips for our women's event. And so if you are someone who has thought about doing a podcast, or did you know that JT Visuals does trials? So you can come in and do a trial. You can come in and try out your own podcast, see if it's good for you, a good mix. And so make sure that you comment below, let me know, and I will get you hooked up with Jared and his amazing team to see how you could be on a podcast too.
Awesome.
So let's go and start up this conversation of these ladies here. I don't know if y'all are ready for this. This is going to be one fun ride. And that's why I had you all here, because, you know, we are trouble. You put us in a room, it's going to be trouble in the making, but that's okay. So tell me, I'm going to start with this kind of your story, because that's what Be Life Changers is all about. We talk about people's real story and the real purpose in your life and how you guys make real change. And each one of you have made a huge change in the community. And so, John Ann, I'm going to start with you. Tell us just a little bit about you, who you are, and where how you got into where you work now.
My name's John Ann Kavanaugh, and I started in banking about 30 years ago. I started off, though, my career as pre-med. And,
I never knew that. What?
Yeah. And then
okay.
hated chemistry. And then I thought
Same.
I'd be a teacher. And so if you look at my college transcript, I have all kinds of early education classes. Then I had a child and didn't want 20 of them. And so then I went into banking because that's so much easier, I guess. But anyway, I started off as in management and coaching and developing people. So I became a passion of mine to develop and coach people, and then really was able to, when I went to a smaller bank, get more involved in the community. And so when I started doing, I like to say weird events, but more community events and bringing people together, that's where, I mean, there's a bank on every corner. And so when I was looking at how to build my brand and how to build where I'm different, getting involved in the community was the way to do it. And so we started off, I did the first women's shopping event in the community 25 years ago before it was a thing, and then just built from there. So, and then this event was a weird midnight. I was like, should do something for Women's History Month. And then met Katie the next day. I said, hey, should we do an event? She's like, let's do it. And so this is our third year, and it's really grown. But, I think when you're doing the connecting in the community, it brings an extra layer to my career. And so when I'm looking, I'm always looking for ways to connect and get, because it just changes up every day and you meet wonderful people everywhere you go. And I'm only a little extrovert. And so I, and my husband says extra is what he likes to say. But, every day, meeting women in the community and knowing, and small business owners as a whole,
Right.
Knowing when you can make that connection and watch them grow and you can be part of that, it just is an amazing part of what I get to do.
That's awesome. And you have been such a blessing in my life. I know we met the first year that you did it. And so we were in a networking group, the same networking group together. And so I was just blown away and so excited to be able to be a part of it. So then we became really good friends. And so that's how it works,
It does. You love to be around the people and you do become friends as you're doing these things. So it's not a job. It's definitely not. And I've met wonderful people and started off just the two of us, and then it's grown and we have a great committee. But it's not really just the ones on the committee. Now we have a community that just goes, what can I do? And every day I'm getting an email, a call, or something. So it's just the collaboration of, everybody is wonderful.
Awesome. Well, Katie, tell us a little bit about you and your story, and tell us about your family, and then how you got into where you're at now.
Okay. Well, thank you for having us.
yeah.
Always fun to hang out with you. What's up, party people? Okay, sorry. Anyways.
Yeah,
She had to get it out.
And I'm the extra.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
I'm just
I think we are a room of extras at
I'm
this
just
point.
the pain in
We
everyone's
all
rear.
are.
So that's me. I'm Katie Ramos. I own a commercial real estate company in Overland Park. We do full service brokerage, property management, and some development. I last year bought my first building with a group of 24 women. And that is actually where we're having our event this year, in that building. So that's going to be really exciting.
It's super exciting. So hopefully we can talk more about the pod project, because
Yes.
when you're bringing in women's history, a building that's owned by women,
Right.
that they donated for us to have this 900 square foot thing, plus the history of that building, to bring all that together, it's not something we're going to be able to do again or have that uniqueness about it. So it's really cool this year.
Yeah, there's a
And
lot of
you-
really unique things playing into that.
Totally. And everyone has now just witnessed John Ann's superpower, which is being everybody's, the best hype woman for
I know.
Big
all
hype
of the
girl.
people in her
She's the
orbit.
hype
Big
girl.
hype girl this
Yes.
one.
Yeah, I got
Definitely.
my tail whooped this week.
Yeah.
She whooped my tail.
I mean,
She had to whip me in shape.
she was not-
She told me I need to get my together. So,
Aw. That's why we
Okay,
love her.
Send her
First
so
of
much
all-
love.
But she says it nicely, right?
I did it
She
in a
did.
very nice.
This is why she wore
thank
Be
you.
Kind today.
But truly, what she
Yeah,
said
that's why I wear this
earlier
shirt.
about the we literally met, and she told me this idea, and I was like,
First day we met.
"Yeah, I'm vibing on this. I can get behind." I mean, and then we just ran with it, and now we've got this huge thing that we're doing, which is really fun. So, you said to tell you some other stuff.
Yeah, tell me about
my,
you. Yeah, about
me.
you. So
Well,
everybody knows who you are.
I'm Katie. I'm extroverted, but I think I'm eccentric, right? People
there's
are
the
like,
word.
"Oh, here
Great
comes
word.
Katie. What's going to come out of her
Eccentric.
mouth?" But that's like what makes life fun and exciting, you know? So I love that. I have a wonderful husband, Trevor, who just is the coolest, nicest guy this side of God's green earth. He's so awesome. And we
Oh,
have
great. Now our
a
husbands
couple.
are-
Yeah, sorry, Pat. We have a couple really beautiful boys, and I am just really grateful for the life that we have built together, and that I give Trev kudos to stuff like this, because when you start in a career like out the gate as wanting to be an entrepreneur and you're building something from absolutely nothing, you have to have people in your corner. And he supported me and was like, just go
100%.
after it. And the first 3 to 5 years in my career, I made like nothing, right? I brought barely anything to the table. And he was like, no, keep going. Don't quit. Like, just keep going. And he was my biggest hype man and supporter. And so I'm always like, whenever I have opportunities like this or just to get to talk to people, I'm like, you know what? I would not be here if it wasn't for Trev. Like, my eccentric personality can only get me so far, like I need somebody holding down the fort behind me. And so I'm just really grateful for that.
Well, it's so important to have that, support around you, and when you can get it, it helps excel you, And I think that's what's so great, being Women's History Month and hearing each other's stories and then being able to come around each other and, even support each other the more, I think that's what has, brought us to us doing a Women's Day event. And so I want to make sure that I tell everyone that you definitely want to come to the Give to Gain event. It is going to be amazing.
And not just women.
Yeah.
We had quite a few men last time, which was great. My husband will be there.
Right.
And, that's doing this. I've had so many times when I'm going out to get raffles or promoting the event, they're like, oh, so it's just for women. And some of the biggest supporters of this event are men.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of the people that are donating, a lot of people that are going to be there on their time are men. So this is just about not the community, and that includes a lot of men that elevate and support women. So I'm so glad that you, Pat, I love you too.
Pat, honestly, from our very
Pat's been
first
there,
one, Pat's like, what do I need to do? Johnny Ann's husband,
so
he's
without
like,
it,
I'll support where I can, which is so great.
Right.
So I think, that's another thing that definitely in this event is it is about women, but we couldn't be doing what we're doing if men didn't believe that we could do it. Because I think that's the thing with women I've learned in my career. A lot of times we can't just say we can do it. We have to prove we can do it, where men can say, oh, I can do that, and they trust them to do it. I've learned that in my career. And, I can bounce it off my husband, and he's like, that's not fair, but yes, you go the extra mile and you do show it, and that's why you're more successful, because you're long-term more successful. But, I do think that when you have men that are supporting us and are excited about this event, that's even neater.
Right. Oh, definitely. Most definitely. And that's why I said that, because it is, if it wasn't for the men, helping and supporting and encouraging us, to keep going. And so we definitely.
And we're looking for volunteers. So any single men out there, that's a great place to meet some women.
That's
we can help
not
you.
a bad idea.
Yeah,
there you go.
You can
Can we
come.
post that on like an app or something?
Bartender carrying heavy items. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. We're
I
open
will say, you had a line in the opening that I thought was so beautiful. I'd never thought of it this way, but you said instead of just asking for a seat at the table, we just went out and built our own table, which to me is like, that's so profound. Just build your own flipping table. You know what I mean? But here's the thing is that I am like so bad with those like the screw thingies, the screw guns. So I did build my own table, but my husband also had to help me like put it together. You know what I mean? So it's like we need
there you
them,
go.
right?
Yeah, we do.
them.
Yeah.
No, we need that support. I think to be a strong woman, I think that's one thing we have to realize is we're not in competition with man.
Yes.
No.
We get our own table, but we don't have to prove we're strong either. That's who
But
we
we're
are.
very fortunate that, especially with us being extroverts, and I think all three of us can say, I'm fortunate that my husband's okay letting me. He's like, when we go to events and stuff, he goes, I just follow you around. I just follow in your light. And it takes a very special person that's willing to give up that.
100%.
And so,
That's the way to say
I'm very fortunate that he, he'll just carry the clipboard and go, whatever you would need, John Ann. So, very lucky.
All right. Well, Chelsea, let's put you in the mix. Tell us a little bit about you. Tell me how a little bit about you, your family, and of course, you were a businesswoman at Addie, but then tell us also about how in the world you got mixed up with a coffee shop.
That is completely the fault of my husband, who also is a wonderful support and absolute light for me. Okay, so I'm Chelsea O'Donnell. I lead the go-to-market strategies for an AI advertising product called Addie, and then I'm also the co-owner of Bare Necessities Coffee Bar in Overland Park. I live a life of carefully curated chaos.
Ooh, you should put that on a shirt.
You should.
There you go. So between my husband and I, we have 4 kids, 2 90-pound dogs. I've spent 20 years in marketing technology. He also is a worship leader at a local church, so that's kind of his part-time thing. And then together we own the coffee shop. And so
And then in her spare time, she is the biggest advocate for every women nonprofit. And they've even she's created her own nonprofit and making space for women. And so she's really, it's not just what she does professionally, but what she gives to the community and the nonprofit for women. She's one of the most amazing people.
Hype girls back in the
Thank you.
house
Yeah,
over
there
here.
you go.
I know, that's right.
I just speak the truth.
I think that's really important, though. Like spending 20 years in marketing technology, you're in tech, you're in data science, you're in innovation, definitely in kind of like the entrepreneur startup world. And in most of those places, they're fairly male dominated. And I had the accidental privilege of starting my career working for a women-owned ad agency. The woman who owned it, she started it actually when her son was just born. And she wanted to keep working with her clients and also raise her family. And she built her own table and then created space for everybody else to learn how to build their own tables. And I realized the further I got in my career that that was such an anomaly for most people. And even being where I'm at and having raised families, I've been able to structure my own maternity leaves. I have been able to juggle and balance in a very flexible way how I work and how I also show up for my family.
Mm-hmm.
And that shouldn't be a privilege. That should be a norm. That should be
yes.
that like every woman deserves that. And until every woman has that, we have a lot of work to do. And so that's kind of where my passion for lifting up women comes from. And like regardless of industry, regardless of whether you are a stay-at-home mom or a working professional, it doesn't matter. I think we have a lot of work to do in continuing to create a structure where women can thrive and where we, as a community, benefit from the best of what women bring to the table instead of putting hurdles in the way.
Absolutely.
Love that. Love that. That is so powerful. And, the whole gist of us, trying to bring awareness to that,
Yes.
bringing women together so they feel seen, really seen and really heard. And remembered. And I, even though that's my tagline on a lot of what I do, but that's where my passion came into helping create this wonderful event that you guys have done, because that is so important for a woman but that's just really what we want to be, is just seen, heard, and then remember us, or, that we do make an impact in.
That's actually the thing I love about this event is it's an event for women, by women, to celebrate women, but it's not just, hey, we're women, yay.
Well, it's not just shopping.
Exactly. Like
Right.
focusing on the economic impact that women drive. I mean, we make 85% of household purchase decisions. Like we should, like our economic power is incredible. And so celebrating that and then celebrating what women-owned businesses drive in terms of the economy, when 40% of businesses are women-owned, like there's a lot of heft and story behind that isn't just a day to celebrate. It's actually like a day to highlight and help women feel empowered and understand, like really embrace the impact that they can have.
And that's what I love about this year, because we have the space.
Mm-hmm.
We have done, what we're doing this year is just so unique because, if you tend to go for women's events, you always see shopping, wine, and the stereotypical what they think we're about, which we do enjoy those very
we do.
much.
Yes, the same.
But we really try to be very comprehensive so that, especially when the national campaign came out to be Give to Gain, we're like, okay, let's take that theme and how do we take it to the next level? So we're going to have a nonprofit area
Right.
that is going to have strategically place women that have made these nonprofits that are serving the community and their impact. And our goal is to get 100 volunteers. So we're going to help these different organizations. We have a communications and networking area where we have social network clubs, business network clubs, and say, how do we continue this momentum after this event? How does this continue, this connection, this communication? Right. We have a literary area. That's just because I like to read.
We all do.
But
We're all book girls.
Yeah.
If anyone is looking for a book club, John Ann is your girl for.
Yeah.
To
So,
have one that's fun and engaging.
And we have, we called a local independent bookstore, and they took it to the next level. And we have 8 local authors that are women authors. They're going to be there. The talent that's in this community is just amazing. And then we have a health and beauty area, and we're going to have someone talking about the issues that people don't like to talk about for women, and we don't have a lot of research. Menopause, premenopause. All that.
Yeah.
So we're going to
all
have
of it.
someone there to talk about it. So it's not just shopping, the connection, and then one of the neatest things, we got a young entrepreneur. She is a senior in high school. She's owned her business since 12.
Oh, wow. That's going to be awesome.
I went to a networking event. She had more presence than half these business people there. And she's going to be there with her business. And we're going to highlight and elevate starting young. And they're going to see the power of women. And that, to me, is just amazing.
When we started the event originally, it all was kind of birthed from this idea to create a blueprint that was unique and set apart from normal just shopping events. And so that was we came at it from a very intentional place of women supporting other women and
interactive,
doing stuff that's interactive,
not just have boring banks with flyers.
Yeah, because I'm like,
no,
hey,
that's not happening.
I could set up a laptop and I could show y'all how to spreadsheet all day long, and that would be super fun to me, but it would be a snooze fest to other people. And so instead of doing something like that, that's where we said, okay, someone like a bank, someone that's like a commercial broker, you bring somebody in, you bring a woman-owned business in, and you can sponsor them, highlight them, this
pay for all their supplies to do an activity where they
and
normally
then people walk away with it.
That they normally can't afford to do a trade show.
Right.
And so Sunflower Bank, we host every year. We've hosted, and this year we're hosting someone that's going to make individual painted signs. You're going to get to come for free because we're paying for it. I'm very fortunate that, and we all are. I don't own my own company, but I work for a company that's like, John Ann, whatever you want. Support, we'll support the women, we'll support the community, and I'm very fortunate to that. That will say more about me and my brand, Sunflower's brand, than if I would hand you a bunch of brochures. So that's where we went on that, and that was Katie's idea. And we've had interactive. And this year we have 17 interactive people coming.
Yes.
And so you're going to make earrings. You're going to make a floral bouquet. You're going to make a sign. You're going to learn to mix some drinks. We got dirty soda. We got
headshots.
Yes, we have a headshot.
We're going to make a community
vision board,
but it's going to be a community vision board, which is super cool. And
affirmation jars.
Affirmation jars. Be Life Changers is doing affirmation
drinks,
jars. Yeah.
All kinds. Her husband's the best bartender ever. And
can attest to that.
Yes,
he was really nice.
And so what drinks are you guys bringing? So just so we know.
So probably our signature old fashions.
Ooh.
That's kind of one of the more popular ones. And then we haven't announced our spring lineup yet. So,
so it's a secret.
We usually actually
top secret.
Usually this event gets our spring cocktails before we actually release them in the shop. So
awesome. Well,
and they were amazing. Not that I tested every single one last time, but they were really good.
And I want to stress, It's free to
free.
get in. Like
Yeah.
it's absolutely free to get in because that's how important you are. You're going to be able to do all these activities for free. There's no charge at any of the interactive booths. Of course, we have a shopping section where you can shop till you drop. But yes.
Yeah, we have clothes, we have jewelry, we have a
Yes.
trucker hat bar with
Yes.
patches, we have permanent jewelry, we have body scrubs, we have cookies, we have, so
There's
there's
gonna be all
shopping.
kinds of stuff. I will say though, when people do arrive, like the biggest thing, like it doesn't cost anything and you can come for whatever, but we are selling raffle tickets.
Yes.
And all of those proceeds will go to Kindcraft.
That's why I'm
and
wearing
when
a
I
Be
tell
Kind
you,
shirt.
my girl Johnny Ann over here is just slanging the raffle prizes.
Yes.
And like we're gonna have so many cool ones.
There is not one
gonna be
place I
awesome.
don't go that I'm like, hey, you'd make a unique raffle. Will you get it? We met some artists out here, and I hooked them up, and so we're gonna have some art there to raffle. So we're gonna have some
the
great
best
raffles.
one. Can we tell the other one that you told us today? Can I share that? This is the best raffle.
Uh-oh.
prize.
Yeah,
It's the most creative.
I mean, I've never seen this anywhere ever, and I 100% could see a lot of people being like, you know what? I'm just going to throw my raffle into a roll-off dumpster.
We're getting it.
Like, how often
we're
do you
getting,
see that?
We're
Yeah.
getting it, and so I'm thinking of doing a
that
whole
hilarious?
purge raffle. I mean, we're in the year where you should purge, get rid of stuff, and
Yep.
so I'm like, hey, I can totally go with that. So she's like, is that dumb? Is that a good? That's a perfect donation.
I think it's so awesome.
Yeah.
Normally
That
it's
is
like
cool.
these frilly little, go a date night or this or that, and there's just going to be. We just need to put a
So
picture of like a
explain
dump
to
truck.
us what is a roll-off dumpster,
It's
just so we
where
know.
they put in your driveway a dumpster, and so you can,
okay.
whether you're doing a remodel or and so it was. She came up to me and sit at our book of, we have a book club, just so you know, professional. Tab me and I'll tell you where it's at. But so she's like, how about if I donate that? And I'm like, oh God, I could totally go with that. And she thought it was hilarious. I was so excited.
I think it's amazing.
I'm
I
going
love
to
it.
totally.
I think
I bet
that's
it's
going to
the
get
most
the most
popular
raffle
one.
tickets.
I'm going to
Yeah.
ask
Of course, we're
ChatGPT
right
how to make that a neat tagline, and I'm going to totally go with it. There you go.
Definitely. Well, it is spring cleaning, so it'll be right
you
in
go.
time. Might be spring cleaning.
I got a humidifier donated today.
Oh wow!
And so
See,
check out.
you guys
'cause-
have got to come.
This
and
is
bring
women's
people.
representation at its best. This is
Well,
like when you have all
yeah.
of us at a table. What do we actually need?
Yeah.
Like these are things that, as
Well,
women, we get
and
excited
we'll
about.
do more,
Absolutely.
definitely publicity for our different donors and stuff for each company.
Yeah.
So I don't want to name the names only because I want to list everybody.
Yes,
but
definitely.
the humidifier is one of the very, very few 100% heating and cooling women owned.
Oh wow!
So
That's
you'll get
awesome.
to see her. We're featuring her, so we're pretty excited about that.
But I do want to ask a little bit so our audience knows a little bit about the nonprofit that we did pull from a hat this time because we had so many that
We
all
did
of them
it.
are so good.
It was
I mean,
so
how do
fair.
you-
We had so
which is
many.
cool because we still have some that are going to be there represented so we can get some people working and helping and doing things like that. But tell us just a little bit more about Kindcraft so that everybody. I mean, Kindcraft is an amazing nonprofit. I didn't
is.
really know. I'd always seen the sign.
It
but
is.
I never knew what it was.
It's one of my favorite volunteer activities in nonprofits that I work with. And it was I think 5 years ago, a local former teacher came up with this idea right around COVID time and said, hey, I want to teach kids about kindness because there was so much going on in the world and everything. And she hosts, and as soon as she posts it gets sold out. And they do a craft every single month. But they first teach the kids about another nonprofit, some people that aren't as lucky as them. So you're thinking they do these in Johnson County and they have all these families. Like for March, they make Easter baskets for foster kids. In December, they do teen baskets with different themes for the Love Fund for teens to adopt teens. In November, they always make the Tide blankets, and like they donated to so many nonprofits. One of my nonprofits, All for Moms got a bunch of baskets that go to moms and kids and to homeless shelters and everything. And so these are activities that you'll see dads, moms, and little kids all together joining. And what impresses me the most when I go and volunteer at these events, not one child says, well, I want to keep my blanket, or can I have this basket? Because they first learn about the nonprofit, and they learn and they really get really consumed about helping somebody else. And in this day and age, I think that the fact that we can spread that message and support her and what she does, because it's all through donations to pay for all the supplies and everything else. So I can go on and on about it, but it's something very needed in our community.
Very much so.
Incredible.
Because I think it's important to take our children and teach them from a young age. And what a creative way to do that.
And, even if you can't go to the events, my grandson who lives in Lawrence, so he can't go to the events because it's school nights, but we have done a diaper drive, and she gives a whole packet to teach the kids how to ask for donations, how to run a drive. He's done a lemonade stand where they collected Matchbox cars that they donate. He's also, every year, he goes, how many teens are we getting this year? And he gets to pick out the sports theme, the art theme, and donate it. So it really extends even past their monthly events, which is really neat. And now they have some young grade school kids that are now in high school and are ambassadors. So they're extending it to teach them how to be ambassadors of a nonprofit. So you're really building a generation of giving and caring people, which I think is phenomenal.
Definitely. You have to teach them to give. And that's just what it's all about. And talking
So
about
come and give lots of raffles, or go to kindcraft.com and you can do a donation. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Tell
what
me you
we'll be
heard us.
raffling and getting to win fun prizes, and all at the same time giving back, which I think is so important. And talk about giving. I want to know more about this pod. Your building,
Pod
the pod project.
yeah.
I was like brain freeze, but yes, the pod project.
Okay, well, we need another hour and a half, so
Wow.
buckle in, folks.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to give you some of the highlights. I'm part of a group here in Kansas City called WIRED, Women in Real Estate Development. And it was started by two powerhouse female brokers, Audrey Navarro and Cheryl Vickers, about 10 years ago. And Cheryl has this phrase that if you look at commercial real estate historically, it's pretty pale, male, and stale. So it's pretty much a bunch of old white guys that own commercial real estate and sell commercial real estate.
You got the pale part down.
I got I'm going real pale. And
I could resist.
and
Speaking of extra,
I didn't say old, though. I did
There you
say pale.
they were like, hey, we're pale, but we're also female. And why don't we try and help more women own commercial real estate? It's a really great path to financial security and wealth. And up until I think, what was it, 1970? You might know this banker lady. It wasn't until like the 1970s that women could get loans.
First of all, I was
Yes.
born in 1968, so I don't
that's
know.
true.
it was like 1979 or
I
something
think it was
like that.
78 or 79. That was like the first year that a woman could get a loan, which is so
on her
crazy.
own without a male
Yeah.
co-signer.
And so we're kind of playing a little bit of catch up. So anyway, so Audrey and
Well,
Cheryl
and 30
started
years
this.
ago, I mean, I did start in the industry 30 years ago. And 30 years ago, if a female was on it, they would have to have their husband or something sign off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I don't know why. I mean, I have my thoughts on why, but
I didn't
who
make
knows?
the rules.
Yeah.
But
So,
now
We
that-
just break them.
we just
Yeah,
break
we just
the
break
rules. Okay, so stop distracting me, girls.
That's what we do best.
So that being said, is that Wired was created to help more women have a viable path to owning commercial real estate. So last year in July, we closed on the Pod project at 6330 Lamar. It's the fourth project that Wired has done collectively. We're just like we're a club. Like, we're just a bunch of women that are professionals, whether most of us are in the CRE industry and the commercial real estate adjacent. And we basically pool all of our resources. We pool our knowledge. We pool, what we all specialize in. And then we go out and we find, value add opportunities. And this was it was a really great opportunity. And on top of that, it's on what a lot of people in Kansas City remember as the Waddell and Reed campus. But before that, when it was built in 1969, it was built by TWA, the airline, and this was the dormitories for any hostess that got hired by TWA, no matter where they were in the country, that got flown to Overland Park, Kansas, and they lived there and they trained there for 6 to 8 weeks, and then they got sent out to wherever they were going.
So it's so cool. History, women owned, and it goes with our whole thing.
And then these
That is
women
amazing.
in the 70s, they were the ones that were like the powerhouses that they're the ones that advocated that they were no longer called the hostesses. They became stewardesses. Like the TWA women really, really rallied. And there's just a lot of like really neat history. And so we felt like there was a lot of story-driven development opportunity there. And so we jumped on it. We
and
we're
they
winning
donated 900 square feet of space.
9,000.
9,000. It's
on,
really
banker.
big. But they donated it. They're
Right.
not charging us at all to be there, which they could be leasing it out now. It's
Right.
ready to go, but they're holding so that we could do it. So I think that supporting that is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you. Because I know, being in that industry, venues can get expensive, places can get expensive. You could have made some money, but so thank you for allowing
No, absolutely.
that space to be open for us to all celebrate being women.
And all of this is in alignment for who we are, and it's all about collaborating and elevating individuals, and specifically sometimes women need just a little bit extra,
That's
and
right.
and it's probably because in 1979 we still couldn't even get a loan to buy a house or whatever, so we're paying a little bit of catch up.
Open a credit card.
Yes.
Or,
And so we're just here to say, okay, what more can we do to support each other and help each other out? So thank you for asking. We're really excited to showcase the building. We've put a ton of work into it since we bought it in July, and it's going to be beautiful by the time of our event.
I have to ask, what's a year from now, what is the dream that you see happening for the building?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So we have probably like 20% of the building is leased now, and we're almost done with construction. So we're not even completely done with all of the remodel. It had sit vacant for like 5 or 6 years, and then it hadn't been touched since the 90s. Love the 90s, though. Rock on. 90s,
Yes.
But there's a
baby.
lot of fun discoveries in there.
Yes. And I think the last time that Waddell and Reed were in there, it was like pre-pandemic. And because when we walked the building the first time, there were literally like whiteboards that had information still on them. It was almost like they just up and left.
Like a time capsule. In a way.
Yeah, it was really interesting. So walking around it that way. And a year from now, I hope that our Zen garden is done.
Yes.
Yeah,
will
we're gonna
be
have a
so
Zen
cool.
garden.
Yes.
It's so cool.
It
Y'all
is
are gonna
cool.
love it. Yeah, you've seen it.
I saw a sneak peek, and it is so cool. You have to come out that day alone just to see a sneak peek. It's going to be fun.
And in a dream world, like a year from now, we're 70% full or more, because our stabilization is right around I think 72% occupied, which is actually it's a pretty good rate for us. So and we're seeing a good turnaround in the office market on the leasing side, and I could geek out on that all day, but I won't bore us to death. But things look really good for the market, so we're excited about that.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And that's what collaboration is all about, and that's what this group right here is about. And we're missing a couple people on the board that couldn't come today, but all of us collaborating, and that is what Be Life Changers is all about, is collaborating. Because we're stronger together, most definitely stronger together. And so we definitely invite you to come. It is March 12th. Give to Gain.
4 to 8.
4 to 8 p.m. That's right, at the Pod Project. And she gave the address, and we will also list it below. Make sure you invite, and come. We definitely want all of you there. Like we said, men, women, come enjoy, celebrate women. That is what Women's History is all about. And thank you, ladies. Thank you. This conversation is exactly why I started my podcast, because when women share their stories, walls come down, courage rises, and suddenly someone listens and thinks, if she can do it, maybe I can too. And I know all of you in this room feel that way. If we can do it, we know you can do it too. That's what being a life changer looks like. So if today inspired you, tag a woman you admire, share this episode, and come join us at Give to Gain, because we women gather, then magic happens. Remember, you don't have to wait for permission to lead, to build, or to shine. Your story matters, your voice matters, and this world needs you to carry on. Until next time, go out and be a life changer.